He spent 9 years behind bars for selling drugs, but after his release, David Scott Blackwell was eventually pardoned by the state of Georgia in 1993. Full pardon. That pardon restored all of his rights, including his right to bear arms. But now the state of Tennessee, where he now lives, is refusing to grant that right and telling Scott Blackwell he's not allowed to own and shoot a gun. And Scott Blackwell joins us right now. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thanks very much. So when you were 19 years old, you sold some coke to an undercover cop. You went away to jail for a while. You did your time, and then you applied for a pardon. And when you got that pardon that said you had served your time and done everything, you figured what would happen with your life?
Well, I went on with my life, and of course I went back to college, rehabilitated myself, got a nursing degree, worked as a registered nurse in an emergency room, and you know, I moved up here to Tennessee about 4 years ago, going on 5 years ago, and simply wanted to go hunting with my son, and went to the local firearms dealer and wanted to purchase a gun, and I was denied. And of course, we've been at this for about 3 years, and finally it came to the point where we actually had to sue the state.
Right, and the way it works generally across the country is when the federal government recognizes your pardon. The state of Georgia recognizes your pardon. All the states around Tennessee recognize the pardon, but the state of Tennessee does not, and so you can't own and shoot a gun.
Well, that's what the Attorney General opined in his opinion, and we feel that it's totally a fraudulent, or not fraudulent, but it's a wrong opinion, and that's the reason we finally had to sue, and it's in the Tennessee Court of Appeals now, and we feel that we're going to prevail on this.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do finally, you know, say in this. The Attorney General for Tennessee, you just mentioned, their office says, quote, "It is reasonable to determine that felony drug offenders are likely to misuse firearms in the future. This is due to the well-known connection between guns and drugs." What do you think about that?
Well, working as an ER nurse and being fully rehabilitated, I find that that's just kind of ludicrous to state, you know. Here I'm going to have unfettered access and the ability to treat others and wield narcotics in my business, I guess, so to speak, and yet I'm not safe enough to have a firearm and go hunting with my son. It just doesn't compute.
Yeah. Scott, what if you lose the case? You move out of Tennessee?
Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to lose the case. I think it'll end up in maybe the U.S. Supreme Court if that's the case. I mean, we're arguing under full faith and credit of the United States Constitution. And just because I walked over the state line doesn't make me less of a citizen. I was fully rehabilitated in Georgia. Georgia recognizes that. The federal government recognizes that. How I simply walk across the state line and lose my rights again is beyond me.
Well, we're going to be watching this case because you got quite a story. All right. David Scott Blackwell joining us today. We thank you, sir.
Thank you.